All right, this is Chris Batched again for Project C Program Evaluation. All right, I worked in the past 4 years in Charlotte County Public Schools in Charlotte Courthouse, Virginia. We have three elementary schools: Phoenix Elementary, Bacon District Elementary, and Eureka Elementary. And we have Central Middle School, and we have um, Randolph Area High School. And we have between five schools, we have three certified music teachers. So the middle high school has one teacher, Eureka Elementary has one teacher, and then I'm at the two other elementary schools. Some of our strengths, um, all three of the music teachers have the ability to build their own program. When we all came in at our separate times, we basically had nothing to build upon on, so we had to start our own foundation, and we were able to start from scratch with our students. Yes, they had music teachers in the past, but in my particular case, they've had 6 or 7 music teachers in the past 4 years before I came in 2014. So many people were very surprised that was able to last for 4 years in the county. So we also have very supportive teachers and PTO parents. So when we have PTO performances or any other performances throughout the school year, those teachers are willing to help in any way, design costumes, create costumes, um, make sure students are arriving on time, supervising students when we are getting ready to go on stage. And anytime the music teachers ask for help, there are teachers and parents who are always willing to help. And there's also great performance opportunities in the area. For the high school, when they did have a choir, there was the time to take them to Longwood University for the honors choir program there. Um, there's various celebrations around town, like the Christmas parades, the Earth Day celebration, the Santa breakfast with Santa Claus, and in one of those I had an opportunity where I had both schools, Phoenix and Bacon District, perform together. So there's tons and tons of performance opportunities for those students outside of the school building. Some of our weaknesses, there's a disconnect between the music teachers. With myself and the other elementary teacher, I see her maybe twice a year. I hear from her during those 2 times. During the school year, we barely talk. Um, it's just we do our own thing and just see what happens in the end with the two programs. The high school teacher who teaches band, I had a situation where when I was still an undergrad and he was teaching at the high school, I went back to my home high school, which was Franklin County High School in Rocky Mount, Virginia, and I was able to be his band guide. And he was quite a disrespectful person towards people. And then when we met each other 4 years later, when I was having new teacher orientation and staff development, he was there. He's like, "Do you? I remember you?" And I was like, and I said, "Yes, you were the person that yelled at me when I was in high school." But anyway, so I don't really talk to the high school director either. I do attempt to reach out, and sometimes I get responses, and sometimes I don't. During my first year, I taught the high school choir and the middle school and elementary school general music. Um, Walking into the first day of high school choir, there were maybe 5 students out of the 35 kids that wanted to be there. So all 35 of those students ended up dropping the class when I clearly stated that we're all going to participate and try our best to sing. If you're in choir, you're going to try to sing it at least. So after that day, there was only 5 students in that choir class, but by the end of the school year, I had 15 students signed up for choir the next year. But the teacher who was teaching both music and library at Bacon District Elementary School retired. So then I got moved from the high school and middle school to the 2 elementary schools. And then after that, they decided to discontinue the choir class in the core program. The middle school band, they have band every other day for 90 minutes, I believe. So he doesn't get to see those students every day. Administration seems to be unsupportive. And if I ask if I could possibly find funding for something, or if I could do a certain program that's different, administration would look over it and say, we don't have the means. If you don't do it for free, we can't do it at all. We have a very, very small budget in Charlotte County. For my program, I have $500 for almost 2,000 students, and sometimes it's difficult to figure out what will I buy this year, what will I not buy, or should I just because I can't save that money for next year because that money would be taken and used for something else. Some opportunities. There's so many opportunities for expanding the middle school and high school programs. Students are wanting to have a choir experience. Students are wanting to have a musical theater experience, but the administration just doesn't want to give it to them. I've even offered to do it after school and do it on Saturdays, and I've even been told, no, we can't do that, and we won't allow you to do that. Creating connections with the theater and art programs. I have done this with the elementary school art teacher because she also teaches at both elementary schools that I taught at, and so we plan music and art month in March and have a music and art night, have an art show, and have that art represent what we're talking about and singing about in our music program. And I believe there's an opportunity for community music because there's so many parents that also enjoy music and are very musically talented, and it'd be nice to see the parents and students create music together. And that comes from last year when I hosted a drum circle at parents' night, and seeing those parents and those students come together to create music was a wonderful experience for everyone. Some threats would be budget cuts. Each year, it seems like there's a large battle between the school board and the board of supervisors with how much money the school board will receive from the board of supervisors and what will the money be used for and what the county needs rather than what the students needs. We have a shrinking student population. A lot of our students are moving to and from Charlotte County to Halifax County or Charlotte to Farmville and back and forth throughout the year. So the funding for each student fluctuates quite rapidly. Teachers resigning from positions. This past year, we had an instance where our insurance went up 200%. And so 35 teachers and myself have found other jobs or just simply resigned because paying $400 a month for one person's health insurance is quite a task, and a lot of teachers can't afford that. And we don't have a lead supervising music teacher. So like throughout this course, we've talked about music supervising and fine art supervising, and I see other students in my cohort where they have a supervising music teacher for the whole county or their district, and I feel jealous that they have that, and like my county does not, and most other counties in Virginia do not have that as well. I feel like it'll be a great experience to have that extra knowledge and extra mentor beside the principal who knows how music works in the classroom and what the instructional process is. Stakeholders, the main ones would be the school board and the board of supervisors. They are the main two entities that are really running the show in Charlotte County. Um, there's continuous fights about money. There are continuous fights about who's going to be our superintendent. We have issues with the school board wanting only Charlotte County people to teach Charlotte County students. Um, that was shown when our superintendent was her contract was terminated due to the fact that she's not from Charlotte County. A lot of our teachers are also not from Charlotte County, and the school board would actually like to see those teachers from outside the county to leave. Information to obtain, budget information, strategic plans for all extracurricular programs, and the consolidation plan. This is the largest issue here. We have 3 elementary schools. The third one, Eureka Elementary, is the youngest of the other 2. The other 2 have crumbly foundation. There's rats and roaches throughout the school. There's mold everywhere, and somehow our school board seems to, quote unquote, don't know what to do. It's been found that the school board and other people in the county only care about Eureka Elementary because that's the richer part of town, and that's where all the affluent students go, and that's where all the good scores go, and the other 2 schools are just kind of like left behind until those parents and those teachers speak up about the well-being of their students. And the viewpoints from administration, it's very nice to know where your administration wants to see your program go, and in the music teacher's perspective and the administration perspective are lining up. While I served as president of Virginia Education Association, I was able to have most of this information sent to my school after every school board meeting. That means after every school board meeting, I'll get the packet of information and I'll make sure all members know that I have the information. I'm free to give that information up, pass it along, and see the budget information, who gets paid what's get paid, and what our money is going to. And that is the end of Project C. Thank you.